Okay, thank you very much. Before anyone else gets a question, I have one question. About the social networks that or the social sharing sites which you saw in the previous waves, have you seen some try to pivot to, get into the new wave of social?
You mean especially compared to the last part of the waves I was describing?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, actually, there were many social networks that started to develop, like Pinterest is one of the case, and topic-based social networks too. I think we were not ready early enough to be competitive and to have a good impact for that. So we kind of decided to pivot actually. We're using the same platform and the same technology, and yeah, we could say that the pivot was actually to find some verticals, and our verticals are art, culture, entertainment, and that's it. I mean, other topic-based social network will talk about anything. Like they could talk about shares, they can talk about flowers. It doesn't really matter. Roller coasters. Yeah. We used to do that. We don't do it anymore. It's just, I think it's far easier to find communities because your targets are more clear, and it makes also more sense for users in terms of user experience to design, because you can ask them, talk to us about some music. You don't say talk to us about something which is too vague.
Sure. And do you think, in your opinion, the recent acquisition of Instagram by Facebook is a chance for Facebook to go into the next kind of creative, inspirational wave of social networking?
Yes, definitely. I think so. I think Facebook needs some fresh air right now. So they found a cool community of people sharing inspiring pictures. I'm not sure yet how they will leverage it and how they will make the mix. They will probably start by integrating the effects on Facebook pictures. That's it. Sure. But what I know is that most of the Instagram users are really pissed off by that.
Now you can see your friends drunk in black and white. It's all cool.
Yeah.
Is there any other questions for Adrien? This one here.
Hi, I teach the interactive marketing course here at the school. And one of the problems in that course that we always address, and I'm really curious about your opinion on that, is that communities, they also existed before the net. Okay, now we'll only talk about communities in the online sense. Now, in the offline sense, at least what you could be sure of is that the people that are part of your community are indeed those people. You are now talking about self-expression on the internet. But at the same time, if you look at Facebook, there's a huge positivity bias. People only talk about the last time they had a party, the last big diploma they got, etc., etc. So how do you know that the people you're talking to, the people in your community, are actually just pretending to be someone, or are they really someone?
I guess that if you want to be sure that they are not pretending, for example, if I say that I'm a huge Beatles fan and I know everything about the Beatles, if I get into a community that is also full of fans from the Beatles, they will detect that I'm not a real fan. So I think that's the whole point. On Facebook, it's your friends, so they trust us anyway, whatever you say. If you get into a more granular social network that knows about your interests that you pretend to be interested by, it will be very easy to find out that you're not an expert. Or it could also be that there are sub-communities. Like, for example, the fans of Beatles might think that that period was the best or the other period was the best. That's one community, but it's also two sub-communities. And it's okay to be part of one of them. Or maybe it's not okay to be part of both in some cases. Does that answer your question? Yeah?
There are different images that you want to transmit to the environment. So it really depending on the context of professional or personal. And I think when there are communities which are around interest, it's more about the true passion. So if it's not you, if it's not the real you, you won't be there. It's very simple.
Yeah, I would like to reply to that actually. Actually, when you say you're a fan of H&M, that's typically what Facebook tries to do, to subscribe to channels for marketing and for because you identify to that brand, and that's okay. But I think that this is not self-expression. I think there's something wrong here. Like they try to do like you want to show that you like this brand, and it's true in some way. But I think it's not safe to say that because sometimes you want to subscribe to something, but you don't necessarily want to show that you subscribe to something. And on Facebook, it's very hard to make a difference. And I also wanted to reply to you on your first question concerning the positive, the pretending kind of messages on Facebook. I have a few friends of my contact that love to share negative things too, because they want their friends to be next to them and say, "Oh, it's okay, it's gonna be all right." So, yeah, some people pretend to be like very happy, very successful and stuff, but some people also try to make things worse. So I think it's okay if you go to a self-expression website and you share like dark pictures and stuff like that. It's not necessarily a bad thing if it helps them communicate with other people and something positive gets out of it. It's good, I think.
Okay, I have a question on Twitter. From the startups that we've heard today, which part of your communities are still very active today?
From what, sorry?
Which parts of your community on Wide are still active today? What's your community?
Oh, you're talking about the community of users of Wide?
Yeah. And it's to all the startups as well.
Actually, Wide today has a very small community on Twitter or Facebook because we are still in stealth mode, so we are not talking a lot about the product. The biggest community that we have is the community of users, and it's mostly friends, friends of friends, because sometimes they invited other people, people that we met in meetings that were interested by the idea, wanted to try it out. So I could not even call it a community as so far. So I don't know if you want to know something particular about these users. I mean, what do you want to know exactly about?
The most active parts of your community at the moment.
Oh, okay. Like the early adopters, or okay. I guess the people that are more active on the website are people that are not satisfied by alternatives. They want to have more control in their content that they find, and they want to express themselves. So, like, usually shy people are not our early adopters, especially the fact that the site is closed, it's beta, but the profiles are public. So whatever you share, anybody can see it. So, yeah, we're definitely not targeting shy people so far.
Okay, is there any other questions for Adrien? We have a bit of time. Yep.
Yeah, so you described different vagues of communities, and every time it was different social networks. So would you think that for the next vague, it could be like some social networks like Facebook, so because it's huge? Could they make it to the next vague? And yeah, I'm just thinking the same because yeah, it recently acquired Instagram, and it's really close to an interest-based community. So it could really become like a big interest-based community. This is just global. Do you think some social networks can make it through different vagues?
Well, I will answer the second part first. You are talking about Instagram, right? Instagram is not really, I would say, a topic-based or interest-based social network. It's more a niche social network, or it was meant to be at least. What's that? Yeah, but I don't think so, because I mean the specificity of Instagram is to be in a small community. If it becomes widespread, it will not be a community anymore. It will just be a feature. And I think when the Android app came out for Instagram, most of the users were pissed off because they felt very special because they had an iPhone, and that was the only way to share good-looking pictures on Instagram. And I think the same could apply if it comes to Facebook, and many people are already pissed off because of that. I mean, it was not meant to be mainstream like Facebook became. And that's why I think it will just become a feature and that's it. I don't think it will make Facebook more interest-based. Actually, Facebook already has the foundation to become an interest-based social network. The problem is that the people that come on Facebook, they come to see their friends. They don't come to discover things that are relevant to them yet. So I think it's pretty tricky to turn it into an interest-based network. I mean, based on the community. And there's another problem with Facebook. I heard today a story about, I don't know, I think she was 14 years old, a girl that was on Facebook, and she said, Facebook is dead. Like she's going now to Tumblr, because I believe that the reason is that it's just overcrowded. Even the parents are on Facebook too. And I mean, the users, they don't really care about the features of Facebook. They're just there because their friends are there. If the friends are moving, or if the mother and fathers get involved in the social network, they just don't mind. They will switch to something else, whatever it is.
And I think the first part of the question was, do you think the social network in a previous phase, such as Facebook, can change and go ahead of the competition into the next phase, into the next step?
I guess they could, but again, I don't think the users will follow because they are not there for that reason. I think if you want to create a topic-based network or interest-based network, it's better to do something on the side and keep Facebook as a social utility to create events, share pictures and stuff. It does that very well. And then put all your interest parts into another network. That's how at least we see it at Wide. We think that we are complementary.
Okay, is there any other questions? We have it's a popular one. Okay, I'll go ladies first.
I've got one question, what I was asking myself a little bit. Where are you making the money? Because only having users, you don't really make money. So
that's a good question. Okay.
Because when you're like Instagram, okay, when Facebook is buying you, you make money for sure.
Yeah.
But before that, I don't know.
So you're talking about the case of Wide, right? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Today we don't make money, so easy answer. Tomorrow we have several ideas, and one of the ideas is I think the common to other topic-based social network is that when you share something on Wide, you have to say what it talks about. Like for example, if I share a painting, I have to attach it to the artist who made that painting. If I want to share a song, I have to give the name of the singer, so that people find it. And because we have this knowledge, we are able to maybe create some links, affiliation links, for example. Like if you share about a band, I know that you like that band, so this is already very valuable information in terms of marketing. But I can also use that information to put a link and let you know that this band is going to have a concert in your city soon. And if you buy the ticket from our website, we get some commission out of it. So that could be one way to do it. And it also applies to all topic-based social networks today.
So like you're in the art scene, you will get contact with artists and...
Actually, we don't need to have a direct contact with artists because the websites who sell tickets provide an API that any website can use. So it's like a piece of an interface that we can use on the software side, so that we can create links on the go. I mean, for every page, we can create an automatic link that will be an affiliation link, as long as we know what the page is about. Is it an artist? Is it a musician? Is it a place? And we can relate to the right affiliation website.
Okay, we have time for one more question. I think there's one here. Yeah? Okay.
So comparing to the definition you gave on the introduction, what is your definition of a community now?
You mean for Wide or?
I don't know.
personal.
You name it.
No, actually, I think the first slide I show is the definition I like the most. I don't know if you agree on this, but okay, this is concise. It's not as explanatory as other definitions, but I mean, as long as people belong to a same group and call themselves as us, for me it means it's a community.
So
They recognize each other as part of the community.
Yes, thank you. So then I have another question. Do you have an example of online communities who reach this status?
Forums.
Which one?
The forums. All the forums you can find. I think that's the best example. Because many forums started, or wiki as well. Wiki are good for communities. Like for example, some sports team opens blogs or wikis or stuff like that to communicate on the web with the team that they already know, obviously, because they are their team. So today there are so many blogs, so many forums that are based on real life communities that I think it is the best way today for real world communities. Then in terms of collaboration, yeah, I think still forums are still the best today to keep the communities online. If you have any other example, I would be very interested.
It was a pure question.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for all the questions. Sorry we couldn't get through all of them, but I think you'll have a drink afterwards over the road. So if anyone's got any more questions, you can catch up with Adrien later. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.